Welcome to KGW News at 11. Let's take a live look outside on this Friday night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Blair Best. Let's bring in Matt Zaffino with a first look at your weekend forecast. Matt.
Hey, Blair. Yeah, I'm going to start with this morning because this is very informative as to what we'll get tomorrow morning, and it was frosty. There's literally frost on the leaves up in Brush Prairie, Washington. Thank you for that picture, Tony. And this morning we had temperatures as low as 26 in the Portland area, 27 down in McMinnville. So it was a cold morning, especially in eastern Oregon, with numbers dropping into the teens over there. Now in Portland right now, we're already down to 34, so it's nearly down to freezing in town right now. And look, it's in the 20s in Hillsborough already, 32 in Vancouver, 33 in McMinnville. So it's already a cold night. And of course, we've got all night long to cool things down even more. Now, the one thing that can keep us from getting as cold, although it isn't necessarily feel any warmer, is the wind. And the east winds are beginning to build a little bit. They're still only running about 15 miles an hour out of Crown Point in Corbett. We've had some gusts there about 25 miles an hour. The east winds will be in about that same range tomorrow, but they really pick up on Sunday. So yes, we will see that east wind come along. Keep the places that are windy a little bit warmer, even though they feel colder. Elsewhere in the region, the winds are really quite light, and these are the perfect conditions. Long nights of late fall, dry air, light winds, and a clear sky to allow the temperatures to drop on down into the 20s, which is exactly what they will do again. So cold nights and sunny days, frost again in the morning, and those east winds increasing. Coming up, Blair, we'll talk about when the rain and the mountain snow will finally come back to the northwest. Back to you.
All right, Matt, thanks so much. Portland Public Schools and the Teachers Union have still failed to agree to a deal to end the strike. Both sides returned to the bargaining table today after a Thanksgiving Day break. And Evan Watson joins us now. And Evan, where do things stand?
Blair, both board members and teachers want students to return to class on Monday, but that's going to take some work over the weekend as the sides didn't agree to a deal yet so far today. This strike, which started on November 1st, carries on. A Portland Public Schools spokesperson says the main issue is agreeing on class size committees and overage payments for when there are too many students in a class. PPS says parents shouldn't be involved in educational decisions that involve other people's children, leaving individual class size decisions to teachers and administrators. The Teachers Union said today that PPS has insisted on reopening additional issues on top of the class size discussion before settling a contract. PPS said it can't finalize teacher compensation, for example, until there's a class size agreement. So as it stands, students have already missed 11 days of instruction in the month of November. PPS has also canceled family teacher conferences and teacher planning days. Making up these school days could mean stretching into the summer, shortening spring break, or extending school hours. But first, the sides need to reach a deal, and a return to school on Monday has been the target for the past week. That would require successful bargaining and an agreement over the weekend. Blair?
Evan, thank you. And new at 11, tonight's tree lighting ceremony in downtown Portland was met with protesters. What you heard there were dozens of people inside Pioneer Courthouse Square. Many were near the 75-foot Douglas fir tree, yelling messages like "Ceasefire now" and "Free Palestine." And a similar protest happened up north in downtown Seattle during the tree lighting there. You can see a large crowd of protesters on stage and in the street carrying signs and waving flags. This was at 4th and Pine, which was already blocked off for the ceremony. After the tree was lit, the protesters left pretty quickly. Well, let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. The Marion County Sheriff's Department says that one person is dead following a police shooting near Salem. According to the sheriff's office, deputies got a call around 11 this morning for a man who was firing gunshots near Arabian Avenue Southeast and Maclay Road Southeast. The sheriff's office says that during the incident, officers shot the suspect, who died at the scene. None of the officers were injured. We now know the name of the woman who was shot and killed in the Park Rose neighborhood, 40-year-old Nicole LaShawn Davis of Portland. Davis was found dead this week at an apartment complex near Northeast 111th and Weidler. No arrests have been made, and police are still investigating. And one person is dead after they were hit by a train in Northeast Portland. This happened at about 2:30 this afternoon. Portland police say a Union Pacific train hit a person near the intersections of Northeast 112th and Fremont Street. The victim was not at a rail crossing. No one on the train was hurt, and the investigation is ongoing. Well, Black Friday is a fixture on the calendar for many shoppers. It's a chance to line up early for big discounts and the beginning of holiday shopping for many over the weekend. As Kyle Eboshi explains, downtown retailers are getting creative to attract customers this holiday season.
Outside the Hollywood Fred Meyer in Northeast Portland, shoppers lined up before sunrise. It's an annual tradition for big savings on socks, electronics, and other items. Although the crowds aren't what they once were, with hundreds of customers camped out overnight or pushing and shoving for a cheap TV, Black Friday is still an event at many big box retailers, malls, and shopping centers throughout the Portland area.
It's not as crowded as I expected it to be, honestly.
At Bridgeport Village in Tualatin, walkways were filled with shoppers looking for deals.
It's not too busy, it's perfect.
Special Black Friday sales, along with an unusually dry, sunny day, helped to bring out the crowds on this, the unofficial start to the holiday shopping season.
Black Friday is a great start for us.
The ease of online shopping has reduced Black Friday crowds, but some people still prefer the in-person experience.
I love just being there in person and touching and feeling and trying things on and talking to people as opposed to online shopping. I'd rather do this.
In downtown Portland, small retailers like Woonwinkle hope people visit locally owned shops.
I mean, I strongly believe that each person can do something to help revitalize Portland, and that it's really a matter of just coming out and showing up and having fun.
For most retailers, big and small, the holiday shopping season is their most critical time of the year.
And what happens during this quarter is, are the lights going to stay on or are they not? So it's definitely really important.
To help entice consumers downtown, the city and retailers are getting creative with special holiday deals, a temporary ice skating rink near the Morrison Bridge, and free Saturday and Sunday parking in 2 downtown Smart Park garages. They hope the enthusiasm of Black Friday will continue through the holidays, with strong sales and plenty of foot traffic. Kyle Eboshi, KGW News.
Well, after 16 years in business, a local Jewish deli is permanently closing its doors. Last week, Kenny and Zuks made a post on their Facebook page announcing the closure. In the post, the owner, Ken Gordon, said it has been a long ride full of ups and downs. He added that he tried his best to make it work, but ultimately it wasn't enough to keep the restaurant open.
I still love cooking, and I'll continue to do it. But dealing with staff, dealing with broken dishes, dealing with insurance, dealing with all the other areas.
Gordon has received a lot of support from customers who made Kenny and Zuks their go-to pastrami place. He says that while closing is sad, it's also a bit of a relief. He says the restaurant world has changed since the pandemic, and while he won't do another restaurant, he promises he's not retiring. Kenny and Zuks will have their last day this Sunday, November 26th.